he's running down the Big East. He took Allen Iverson, now he's catching Ray Allen.
And let's go to KD right now and hear his thoughts on tonight's win.
It was like the chemistry from the guys out continuing to get stronger. What are you most proud of in terms of the way that this game unfolded? You got that big game.
I just like how we stuck to the game plan. We went over how we're going to guard this team and shoot around this morning, and the transfer was something that we're all proud of. You know, that's really what it is, transferring what you learn in practices and shooting rounds and try to execute in the games. And I think tonight was one of those nights we took a step in the right direction.
I know you talked a lot about individual accomplishments, but you passed Allen Iverson on the NBA's all-time scoring list. Knowing what he meant to you, watching him, what does that mean?
I mean, it means the world. I mean, as somebody who dedicated I dedicated my life to this game at an early age. So I watched all of these guys that I'm like passing up. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be like them. I wanted to be in the NBA like them and make an impact in the league like them. So Iverson was, he was a pantheon for me. One of those guys that I emulated every time I went outside, play with my friends. So it's all surreal. I mean, I pictured I would be in the league and I had an idea, but to do it is pretty special.
As a DMV guy, I imagine him at Georgetown's got to be one of your earliest basketball memories, I would think, right? Age-wise.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I really became a huge Iverson fan, obviously, just like everybody else his rookie year, but seeing him in Georgetown and playing for Coach Thompson and that whole culture that they built there, he was a huge part of that. But once he came to the league, and he had players from, I was a center, power forward on my young team. We all was long crossing and, double crossing. And so he influenced a lot of people. And so to pass him on the list and to be up there with some of the greats on that list is incredible. I just got to keep going.
You mentioned before about your transfer from defense, from the defensive work from shoot-around and practice to the games. You guys have been, I think, safe to say, a lot better on that end than kind of the general public would have guessed coming into the season. What do you think has caused that?
Just, being more physical, getting into the ball a little bit more, just taking pride in one-on-one defense, too. I mean, there's a lot of great scorers in this league, guys that can that are very skilled in this league, and so we have to be able to contain the ball one-on-one as well as knowing the team concept, and I think that's what we're starting to understand. And we still got a long ways to go rebounding and being there a little earlier on some of those drives, but I think pretty much every team in the league is trying to fine-tune their defense and get better. So I like the direction we're headed in.
Kevin, what is the carryover from shoot-around, bringing it into the actual game? Everybody knows how many slow starts you guys have had. But, I mean, this fast start today, how much of that do you attribute to just having the right mindset coming out of the gate? How much of it was, LaMarcus maybe spacing the floor for you guys? Or what do you attribute that to? Yeah,
I think it was a combination of a lot of things. I felt like our intensity on the defensive side of the ball was great. I think our focus and shoot-around, played a part in it. I think our pressure on the ball and not just switching every little screen was played a part in it. And guys came out here and made shots, so when you're making shots, that makes everything a little better.
Kind of following up on that, what does LaMarcus bring to that starting unit?
Somebody that can space, knock down a shot, and just a big body that can rebound as well and protect the rim. And we're going to need all our bigs for the whole year, no matter what. And I know Blake was in there, but we need him to stay ready if we want to be the team we want to be. Kevin,
Patty's on a personal best, I think, 5-game average. He came in the game averaging 19 points. He's never done that in a 5-game span in his career. What has he given you guys lately, especially with that start tonight he had?
Yeah, just a spark plug, somebody that can create so much movement off the ball. You hear a lot about gravity in our game and three-point shot, and he has a lot of gravity at that three-point line where he come off a pin down and somebody rushing at him and he can drive and create so much chaos. So, we're excited that Patty is, done a good job as a bench player and then to come in as a starter, too, and keep the same energy. I think that shows how professional he is, and he's always ready, always into the game and intense. So we feed off him a lot. Teams going to start to help on me a lot and double team me in my spot sometimes, so being able to kick out to him is a luxury.
At the Olympic gold medal ceremony, you and Ime Udoka were trash talking each other with Patty. I don't know if you remember that. It was on your Instagram.
Yeah.
You gave him the point early on today. Did any of that continue?
Yeah. Me and Ime got tight over last year and over the Olympics, so it was just friendly trash talk. So it's, it'll help, I guess, that, this competition between us two teams, 'cause I'm sure we all going to be around here late in the season, and, it's good to be Ime, I get excited about, coming in here and winning in Boston. It's a tough place to play, but now that Ime's the coach, it makes it even sweeter.
It's a completely separate team, obviously, but I'm just, when you go from the Golden State game, you guys are going to be playing Phoenix. We all know how hot they are. I mean, do you look at that as an opportunity to gauge maybe how many of your improvements from then to now have stuck, or is that just, those are two completely different games and you understand that?
Yeah, we gauging every day. I mean, we gauging who we are every day. We understand that, these teams are coming in and teams are playing well. But it is November. I mean, every team wants to be that, round out into shape, middle of the season as this playoffs starting to come around. I'm not saying that we want to give away any games, but, win or lose, I don't really think this is going to tell us that much about where we headed as a team. You get what I'm saying? And but we obviously want to come out there and, stick to our principles and keep getting better at that stuff. But from the outside looking in, I understand, the records and the narratives around games and stuff, but I don't think this is going to tell us too much about what may happen down the line.
Kind of following
There's
up
been
on
a
that.
lot of talk. There's been a lot of talk about you guys searching for your identity and so on. So when you look at this game, James said it was the most complete performance of the year.
Mm-hmm.
What do you take away from that sense?
I feel like we have our identity. I mean, we know what type of team we want to be. We know what type, we know the formula for us to play well. And, really that's really what it is for us. We know we have to guard and we have to box out and rebound and limit our turnovers. I mean, that's pretty much every team in the league. You get what I'm saying? That's the identity of basketball, keep the, limit your mistakes. And, the great teams limit their mistakes, and that's what their identity is. So we got to get to that point. I think we're doing a solid job.
So a wire-to-wire win for the Nets. Their second of those kind this season. 29. They led by as many as 29. We just heard James Harden before Kevin Durant say that this was their best complete game of the season. But you thought the defense, as Kevin Durant thought, stuck out. Why?
Yeah, I think their intensity on defense, as good as they were on offense, the intensity on defense is what turned this game around in the beginning of the game. It was smothering. Every drive that Celtics tried to make was contested. Every shot was contested. They didn't get any easy looks. So I think that's what turned the tide early in this game.